This is Rocinha. That's in America's biggest slum, sprawling into the hills above Rio de Janeiro, with its 150,000 inhabitants, living in some of the worst poverty in the world. Right now it's the Brazilian president's biggest nightmare, because Rocinha is under the control of Rio's drug gangs. The president is preparing to send in the army. But for the moment, security rests with the city's military police. They've invited me on a morning patrol.
Positivo, elemento armado aí no valão. Faça contato com o oficial de comandante do IASH do 9º Batalhão para que verifique a situação. Se for o caso, apoie ele no local.
Last month, violence erupted between rival gangs and the police, killing 2 policemen, 4 bystanders and at least 8 gang members.
Tá demais. As pessoas só andam assustadas, só vivem assustadas.
It's too much. We're all scared. We're all scared.
5 anos morar aqui.
5 anos. 5 years I've lived here. I can't do it anymore.
The police's biggest scalp was Rocinha's top godfather, 26-year-old Lulu. They thought that would end the violence. Today, over 1,000 police are occupying the favela. Brazil's press have called it a city under siege. The police assure us they're in control.
The situation in Rio has never been out of control. The police have it totally under control.
Despite the killing of Lulu, the slum's residents haven't noticed any improvements in security. There are still daily exchanges of gunfire here. Tensions are running high.
Nobody has slept here for over a week because the shooting has been so intense. Unfortunately, it looks like the situation is going to get even worse.
Night belongs to Rocinha's real masters, the drug gangs. The most powerful and the most feared is the Red Command. It has thousands of young men under arms. I decide to go in and talk to them. It's a risky business. The last Brazilian journalist to gain access to the gangs was tortured and killed. With the help of my local minder, I've managed to convince members of one Red Command unit to talk to Channel 4 News. Their story is totally at odds with the police account.
They've been saying they'll finish us for a long time. They can't finish us, they can't finish the Red Command.
With weapons like these, many it's claimed obtained through corrupt police officers, the drug gangs remain a formidable force.
This is a case of honor. A lot of our brothers have lost their lives. We're doing it for the honor. We're going to kill all the police. We're in charge here.
80% of Rio's cocaine goes abroad, but the rest finds its way into the favelas. It's through the supply of cocaine that the gangs enforce their control. Thousands of the poorest slum dwellers use the drug every day. For many, it's a substitute for food. It staves off hunger. Eliane is 42. Last month, a full-term fetus died inside her. She was so high she didn't notice the dead baby for 2 days. Eliane blames the gang's cheap powder.
They bring the price down in certain outlets by mixing it up. They mix it with medicine, bicarbonate of soda, things like that. Then they sell that to people like us for 20p.
By day, the police are back in control, but there's an atmosphere of mutual suspicion. Last year alone, they were responsible for killing 1,200 civilians.
Who are these civilians who are killed? Young, mostly black, men, poor. Rocinha is a consequence, not a cause.
In a luxury hotel just outside the favela, the city's first couple, Governor Rosinha Garotinho and her husband Anthony, are getting impatient. They call on the president to send in 4,000 soldiers to solve the problem. This cry for help has the full backing of the city's head of security, who admits the situation is close to all-out war.
A polícia não mata por matar.
The police don't kill for the sake of killing. They're fighting criminals armed with weapons of war. These criminals have a choice. They can hand themselves in, or they can try to escape. In the ensuing gun battles, I would prefer to see dead criminals, not dead police officers.
The killing of gang godfather Lulu last month was supposed to bring the people closer to the police. Many here speak of Lulu as a Robin Hood figure. But when police took over his mansion, they found the remnants of a lavish lifestyle, complete with swimming pool, jacuzzi and discotheque. A stark contrast to the squalor of the surrounding favela. Even so, hundreds of ordinary slum dwellers flocked to his funeral. And now the police have a new enemy, hiding somewhere in Rocinha's labyrinth. Dudu, a former drug godfather known for his sadistic torture methods. He escaped from prison last December and has been fighting to take Rocinha back ever since.
We're
now hunting for this criminal Dudu, who plans to take over Rocinha with his gang.
Dudu is in hiding, but following a tip-off, I went into the hills above the favela to track down one of his most trusted lieutenants in the Red Command. He promised all-out war.
The slum belongs to Dudu. We're hoping to take it back. A lot of people are going to die, but that's the reality.
And confident in the gang's arsenal, Dudu's henchman wasn't fazed at the prospect of the president sending in tanks and soldiers.
If he puts the army on the streets in every Red Command zone, we're going to invade other communities. We're going to put our men onto the streets as well. They won't have enough manpower to protect the slums and the people.
In a country still recovering from decades of military dictatorship, sending in the troops is a high-risk strategy. Critics say the army is not trained for urban conflict. Its presence here would risk causing further damage. At best, it will only provide a temporary solution to the deep-rooted nightmare of Rocinha.
I would prefer not to dead criminal.